This is Dabu7, a big video here in regards to Cleveland. Just because, they just called up National Guard. There's all this talk. You're seeing cops in riot gear, and nothing has even happened there yet. People are just in shock. They're like, what the hell? Really? They're like preparing for a war here, and nothing's happened. The marches have been peaceful, as I covered in the other video, and they've called up the National Guard here to come in on Sunday to be prepared to stay for 72 hours because of this verdict. Now, you're looking at a notice that has been distributed, and people are getting these at their homes in the area in Cleveland, saying that Monday will be the decision on the Michael Brelo trial verdict. And I want everyone to pay attention here. They say the city of Cleveland held a meeting this morning advising that Ohio City will be a target for Ferguson protesters that are coming to town. Now, this is vital. That they're specifically saying Ferguson. Does that mean that everyone from Ferguson is bad? No, because there's some good cats that come out of there. I know them. But yes, there is some deception coming out of Ferguson. We've seen it from the beginning when they were training them in the rooms, saying they were going to spread this all the way across the country, and people were sending me the cell phone footage. Yeah, we know they were plotting for this. And the fact that George Soros spent $33 million to fund the chaos in Ferguson. You see, it's those same provocateurs that we're always keeping an open eye for. They're saying they're coming. And this is a heads up that this whole thing, and this is not your real deal Ferguson protesters. Those people from Ferguson that are true, that showed up in the streets in Baltimore, the real cats. You know, I met guys out there like Revolutionary Z from the streets. He's real. Stacks, she is real. Okay, some of the other cats out there that are all about their face and the fame, like the celebrities, I question. Especially when they're sending out messages showing they're inside of ballrooms where women are wearing Baphomet heads. Some crazy stuff. And people are running around worshiping some of these people like they're some revolutionary figures when they're a part of the problem. Okay, just like in Baltimore, when we watched Kwame Rose talk all this talk in the streets. Come 10:01, where was he? Nowhere to be seen. I was on the front lines with the real soldiers of Baltimore holding it down. Okay? All these puppets were nowhere to be seen. And they took all the people back off into the shadows and into their homes. Away from the streets. And they followed blindly. That is what they're talking about when they speak of Ferguson protesters. It's not just Ferguson. It's the deception that sprouted out of there. Okay, let's get that clear to begin with. There's good and bad people everywhere. This comes down to the hearts of men. And they say, they're asking everyone in the area here to be aware of any activity that might lead to riots or vandalism, suggesting that all the residents park inside if they have secure buildings. And we didn't see none of these warnings for Baltimore. None of this for Wisconsin. Talking about the doors, do not engage with the protesters. They're leaving phone numbers or to call 911. There will be police on duty. No vacation or sick days allowed. They want all hands on deck, and the National Guard will be on call. They also say you will see police and media present during this time. You guys see now? The stage is set. Big time. And my gut is telling me I need to be on the ground Monday morning in Cleveland and be prepared for anything that happens from there on out. If there's going to be provocateurs, I need to see it. We need to know it. I need to catch it. And we need to share it. And I need to be able to track these people down and ask questions, get names, do the work that needs to be done. So guys, this is like a last minute notice here for me, but if I can somehow swing this, I just may end up in Cleveland here to live stream this event. It's pulling me that way. And whenever I get this feeling, something's telling me I should go, I need to work to do so. And like I said, I may have to get a jump on it and get in position, because you don't want to be sitting back and then here all of a sudden come Monday afternoon, all hell is breaking loose in Cleveland. And then want to go up there, and then it all be died down, and then you're waiting for the next round. You never know when that could come. It could be the following weekend, or it could completely die out, or they could burn down buildings. You could miss it all. And they're going to blame this person or that person, and just like they tried to do in Ferguson, they tried to blame the Oath Keepers. That went out the window because I was right there. When they were trying to blame them men, they were watching my back from the rooftops with guns and protecting those buildings. And they were trying to, the people, these provocateurs on the ground were trying to say those guys were up there shooting off shots, and it was garbage. And those are the type of people you're going to have to keep an open eye for. And I remember a lot of them faces from the streets. And if I see them again in any of these other cities, I'm going to be on them. So, a heads up here for Cleveland. Hopefully, the people up here that have been peaceful this whole time will remain peaceful and can overwhelm any other chaotic madness that may spring up. It's about organization. You see, there's a dividing line here. I know many people are thinking, well, these peaceful protests never get anywhere. We have to understand there is a benefit to this. There's a process of awakening, and the mass awakening is happening now. It's a dangerous time because the elite are shaken. More and more people waking up every day, you see, and what we call sheep out here are going through this process, and it takes hitting the streets, getting involved in some of these marches, and protesting, putting your voice out there, getting loose, being heard. Then you're off your tail and you're in the streets, okay? But right there is where these puppets come into play and can grab all these people in the streets, and people are just walking down the street following a march and a guy with a bullhorn, and they don't know anything about the guy. They just jumped in because they think it's patriotic and they're all marching and this and that. That can be very dangerous. And even if it's a true march and you're marching down the street, as we've just seen, cops undercover will jump in and try to infiltrate the protest and cause chaos. They've been busted. We've proven it time and time again, coast to coast. From Oakland to Ferguson to wherever. There was one here just recently where they caught 2 cops and made them show their badges. And the one did. Because that's the rules in the law. If they're called out on it, they have to show their badge. And the one did. The other one tried to put up a fight over it. You got to know the rules to the game out here. You got to know their tactics. I'm telling you guys, Cleveland may be the next spot. We'll sit back and see. They're already in position. The stage is set. So, don't be surprised one bit if Dabu 7 pops up in Cleveland. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu 7. Peace.